Set 75374, the Onyx Cinder had one of the most interesting LEGO releases of all time. Originally set for a January 2024 release, both the show and the set got delayed, and eventually this set released in August of 2024. At the time of recording, the Skelton Crew show has a few episodes out, and it's safe to say the show is amazing. But can the same be said about the set? And here is the instruction manual, which is pretty hefty and included 489 steps. The sticker sheet isn't that bad, we've definitely seen worse over the years. These are just a few photos I took along the way of building this set just to mark my progress and to share with you all, and I really enjoyed building this set. Every LEGO set I build is always a lot of fun, and once again, nothing new here, a very satisfying build. Jumping right into it with our first of 5 minifigures, we have Jod. This is a very nice minifig, and it includes not one, but 2 face prints, and I love the torso printing with his coat open and we see the undershirt and a little bit of chest hair popping out, and it really shows that extra little bit of detail that LEGO went with. He also comes with a scarf and a bit of a different blaster that we don't normally see in LEGO Star Wars. He is a pirate after all, so this is more of a pirate type of blaster, which I absolutely love. Now we have Wim, and this is another fantastic minifig. With immaculate detail all around, I love the accuracy on his torso with the patch that we see. Just like in the show, they knocked it out of the park here. He is also carrying around the flashlight and the infamous walkie-talkie, which we often see him communicate with Neil with, saying Jedi 1 to Jedi 2, so it's great to see that LEGO added the walkie-talkie. Additionally, Wim has a second face print, and this one is a very frightened look, so he is scared of whatever he is looking at or being chased by. Fern is also done really well. Just like Wim, she has immaculate torso printing and so many great patch designs on her jacket, just like we see on screen. I love the open coat look just to add a little bit more color with the undershirt. And just like Wim, she also has a flashlight and a second face print when she does look to be scared. KB is one of the coolest minifigs in the set for multiple reasons. She has great torso printing, and the yellow gloves really pop out with the gray outfit. No surprise here with another flashlight. Spoiler alert, it's a constant theme with all the minifigs. And she has 2 face prints as well. One of them when the glasses or goggles are up, and the other one when they're down, and this is used for her to activate or hack into certain electronics. A really cool and subtle detail is on each of the face prints, the side piece where the goggles can go up and down are actually altered. When the goggles are up, we actually see the side piece rotated up in a longer way to show that they're resting on her hair, and then when they're down, it's a much shorter and rotated version to show that they're actually around her eyes, and just that little bit extra of detail goes a long way. Saving our fan favorite for last, we have Neil. A quick fun fact is that Neil and Max Rebo are both the same species, which is an Ortolan. I hope I'm saying that right, but Neil looks like a much younger Max Rebo, and he has dark blue hair while Max Rebo doesn't have any hair. Neil is wearing the classic reddish brown overalls, and this might be up for debate, but I think out of all the characters in the show, Neil has the most drip. Neil does have a flashlight, but surprisingly, unlike Wim, he doesn't have a walkie-talkie. We do see Neil have a walkie-talkie in the show, but it's not to be seen in this set. I know many people are probably wondering, where's SM33? And my theory is that SM33 wasn't included in any of the concept art that LEGO was provided, so that is why we are sadly not getting this droid. And here it is in all of its glory, the Onyx Cinder. Going over the top of the ship, there's immense detail. Whether it's with stickers, great pieces, or slopes, they did a very nice job getting the overall texture of the ship down. Sliding the Onyx Cinder back towards us, we could see more of those great pieces, studs, and slopes all utilized throughout different panels to make such a wonderful looking ship. And this really helps bring the ship to life, just adding all the different grooves, because as we know, this is a pretty beat up ship. Stickers are my kryptonite, so I don't think I can put one on correctly. As we see with this one sticker, it's on an angle and it really bothers me. The stud shooters are a great addition for play features, as there are 3 of them around the ship. One towards the very front, one on the side of the cockpit, and another one on the opposite side. And on the center section right here, we actually have 2 built-in turrets. And these were used in, I believe, episode 3, when we saw Wim and Fern shooting at the X-Wings as they tried to escape. If you do try to pose the cannons, there is a slight chance that they could fall off, so just be careful when doing so. Sadly, no minifigs can fit inside the turrets, but that is alright because these still add a ton of detail. Between these cannons, there's a black lever that is used for the best play feature in my opinion, and that is to move the engines from a takeoff mode into a flight mode. Just slide the lever back and forth and it changes directions. There are 4 different Technic rods individually attached to each engine, which allows for such a smooth transition. Removing the panel in the back, if it will allow me to remove it, it wants to give me a hard time, we can actually get a better look at the Technic mechanism that allows for the engines to be able to move in and out of the landing gear. And this Technic skeleton, you see what I did there, actually runs through the entirety of the ship. And I have to say, just watching this go back and forth is fairly satisfying. There's also a radar dish on the top which rotates 360 degrees and can help locate and track other ships. Looking towards the cockpit, we see 3 stickers used to give the look of windows. The cockpit is a bit tight and can only fit one of your minifigs, and Jod does fit the best, but it still isn't a comfortable fit. My biggest issue is the control panels are stickers, and I would have loved to see them printed, but it's also on the interior of the set, so it's not noticeable by the eye unless you physically go looking for it. Directly below the cockpit, there's another turret which can rotate 360 degrees. Well, maybe it can actually only rotate 340 degrees. We can pull down the side of the ship right here and access the interior of the Onyx Cinder. If you don't want your minifigures to hold on to the flashlights all the time, LEGO had a really creative way on how to attach them to one of the walls. The interior is a bit tight, but we can get a better view from the other side. Lifting up these 2 panels, we can see a pot to cook with and an area for our minifigures to hang out. The interior is a little bit cramped, so beware that while you're trying to get your minifigures in and out of the ship, it might be a little tricky at times. The very back has another access point to the interior and has some cargo boxes attached, and inside there's some food for the crew to eat. The very front of the Onyx Cinder includes some more turrets and another entry ramp into the ship, and this entry ramp leads up to a bed which is very difficult to put back in once you take it out. These smaller side panels towards the front of the ship do have a little bit of give to them. Just by lightly poking them, they do shake a little bit, so if you do plan on swooshing this set around, don't be alarmed if you hear a little bit of rattling. It is just because the connection point isn't the strongest, as it only has 1 Technic pin. The landing gear is simple, and I love how they used barrels to help give it the detail. We quickly look underneath the set, and it isn't anything special, it's what you would expect. I guess there's slight detail. Now I want to compare this to some other LEGO sets, starting with the midi-scale Invisible Hand. As we can see, the size and length is very similar, but the overall mass is way more on the Onyx Cinder. A better comparison is with the Inquisitor transport scythe. They are very similar in size in both length and width. And finally, let's compare it to Jedi Bob Starfighter. So, what are my final thoughts on the Onyx Cinder? I love this set and I think it's worth the $140 price. Now that the show is out and people really enjoy it, I'm sure many more LEGO Star Wars fans will be picking up this set. With the 2025 sets coming out, I don't want any of you to forget about this set, so I can't recommend enough to go out and get this set as soon as possible. Let me know what you think about the Onyx Cinder, and what do you think about the Skelton Crew show so far. Don't forget to leave a like if you enjoyed this review, subscribe for more LEGO content, and I'll see you in the next one.